guys, WCCC here today. It's been a uncomfortably large break since you've had real movement going on. Not to say there hasn't been movement, but unfortunately I've gotten caught up in some things lately, and I am not proud of it. Got involved in a bit of online gaming, and it seemed the more I was trying to break free of it, the more into I ended up getting instead. And earlier, about a week ago-ish time, I announced I'd be retiring for the end of the month. And Steam has been in commission for a couple days, which has been a blessing on our part because it will compensate for my weak willpower. Which, like I said, I was going to quit anyways, but, you know, that early head start could not hurt at all. So I'm back 48 hours of getting early back into the flow of things, full swing again. Oh man, it's great. I have not missed a beat, it feels like. I've just got everything flowing, and I was able to install a lot of things I liked, and a lot of, stuff like that. Oh, I'm kind of derping here. I'm going to do two things at once. Load my damn guns and explain my complex situation. Either way, what we're looking at today is our personal defense weapon. I would like to take a moment to comment the fact that I don't think Hatchet is ever going to end up actually having a submachine gun. If you look at our weapon setup, we have a revolver, 2 semi-automatic pistols, we have, revolver, 2 semi-automatic pistols, we have a carbine, a personal defense weapon, an assault rifle, a battle rifle, a light machine gun, a sniper rifle, assault shotgun, a combat shotgun, a sawed-off shotgun. No submachine guns. And I've contemplated maybe something with machine pistols, but I don't want to speak about that because it's really underdeveloped at this point. In any case, what we're looking at here, it's a good old, for those who don't know, personal defense weapon would be something that fires handgun types of cartridges, but the cartridge itself is actually non-standard or non-orthodox in that it shoots more like a smaller scale rifle round to increase penetration and performance. So in this case, this is actually hilariously playing the spam cannon role because, I can't really say because why. I just felt like we already had our other roles filled, and this is a large capacity, high fire rate, small stature weapon. So realistically speaking, you measure up all the stats and everything, it should be kind of spammy like this. But the accented pride front was purely for the sake of balancing, because otherwise this state-of-the-art piece of tech would just be blatantly overpowered and Mary Sue-like and how flawless it would be overall. So, we got this thing loaded with some trapezoid iron sights that are actually glow in the dark, so even it could be as bright as day, it could be an absolute pitch darkness. When you have this gun in hand, these sights will stand out and you will know exactly what you're aiming for and how to aim it. Which is wonderful, because that's exactly what I kind of want, because it's inaccurate and spammy, like I said. So if you can just sneak around in the shadows and get close quarters, and then just kind of come out of the shadows, or just attack in the shadows, just kind of get your stealth point-blank attack going. These sights are perfect for aiding that. I figured I guess we'll go and do some shooting. Like before, we have actually had some explosive rounds to be used as tracers, and you're probably noticing how hard I'm having focusing this thing's accuracy. First is the lower quality model. Yeah, about 10 shots. Those are roughly on target. Now is about max accuracy. Longer ranges though, because that's pretty point blank range right there. But let's size the paper target. Over here. Yeah, we're hitting the wood some here, which isn't bad. Of course, then we have burst fire, which is a step up and spam. It has a lot of whoosh going on with it. Hilariously, the recoil here is actually a 3-shot burst, so the recoil stroke is actually longer than the 2-shot burst in the carbine, which I think makes it advantageous, and it leaves us still spamming even with our burst fire, but you at least have a meter or a control on your fire rate, which is kind of nice. And sadly necessary, because you roll this baby full hour, you will mow through your ammunition. I've done extensive testing before it was even fully mashed in. I was suffering that one a lot. Look at that. Wow, I got my 26 shot mag. I'm going to hit fire this next one. bad. Yes, that's a lower quality model. Get some fantastic little mags stacking up on the floor here. Right, so I guess I'll go stare at the floor here, make these bullet holes disappear for a second. Oh, me and my exploits. Wow, is this real whatever? I don't... This is some form of marble, theoretically, but I'm not an expert in marbles, I don't really know. Okay, this is close enough, so semi-automatic. See, this model's much better. In fact, you can actually get those on mark very often at that range. It's actually really tight still. Very nice. Ow, actually that would have killed the bad guy before it's going. Interesting. It's actually performing quite well. I may have messed up the onside threshold, I'm starting to think, but that couldn't hurt. Yes, this comes in three various clip sizes. It's basically 24 or 25, 32 and 40, which are pretty common numbers, oddly enough, with a lot of weapons like this. I believe Uzi sport 32-shot magazines, and I believe 40 is some sort of deadline for extended. Right, now there. Uzi 32 mag, we're just gonna go spray this. That's actually kind of devastating how on target that still is. Very interesting. This is funny. Yeah, actually that, like that. Right, so, highest quality, of course. I'm not gonna bother messing with the threshold on this. That's pretty pinpoint right there. Got a burst going at longer ranges. I shoot the barrel of that gun non-stop. And here... Yeah, actually, I may want more recoil on this, but I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, I guess we'll just go through our various quality models. We'll go ahead and repair this guy, which has seen a lot of punishment already. This weapon, I'm not sure how I stand on its performance, specifically because it has been in a situation where it's caught between, do I want this weapon to be just spammy and overpowered, or do I want this weapon to be kind of watered down and effective past close range? I feel both are a slap in the face to the arsenal, because one leaves this completely useless, and one leaves this completely lopsidedly overpowered, and it's hard to really find the stance on that, so I'm trying to compromise in between, but I'm not sure where exactly the perfect threshold is. So, yeah, we take this baby at the Liberty, and we're going to go mess around with some bound ammos. So we got standards, explosives we were just using, hollow point explosives, and armor-piercing high velocity, that I think at this point demonstrates all the major effects. Reading for high velocity powder and explosive powder, addition to hollow point armor-piercing. And I think that makes it so even if this weapon is very deadly for a spam cannon, this leaves us with another fork. On one hand, you may be going, you should kind of brute force, that's great, let's not give it too much tactical advantage, then it would just be perfect for everything. For instance, I theorized using subsonic ammunition. Oh dear god, subsonic on this thing would be unforgivable. It would just be the perfect assassination weapon. You know, silent fire, shoot in the dark, reduce muzzle flash. Horrible, horrible. But on the other hand, so many people might be thinking, you're an asshole. Why would you possibly give something this spammy and high-powered, incredibly high-potency ammunition? That's actually interesting to consider on the flip side. And armor-piercing, as well as high velocity, aren't necessarily high power, I should clarify. We're left with a situation here where there's trade-offs. Obviously, high velocity and explosive are both pretty much universal ammunition that you can use to just add damage that everybody hates. Faster bullets always hit harder. Exploding bullets always hurt like hell. Versus armor, everything. But the difference is that explosive is actually more expensive. It requires more skill to craft. And finally, it actually increases the noise output of the weapon. So if you were trying to get away with some quick skirmishes and knock dudes off one at a time at close range, and you're using explosive rounds to plow through armor, you're going to kind of fuck that one up because, wow, explosions. Now, thunderbolts are much, much louder, and that is ruining the stealth of the weapon. So, in that sense, this weapon is made to be close range, inaccurate, and not really made for stealth or tactical roles. But on the flip side, it has the considerable advantage of, God, I'm trying to say here, being incredibly deadly within its own domain, which is kind of nice. It's actually also a very light weapon, I think I should point out. It's 5 pounds. Very lightweight. Very lightweight, very agreeable in many senses. Not perfect, but, you know, we have a lot of things with encumbrance-based inventories. So it's just technically the equivalent of smaller inventory size, as well as some other things that are just kind of complex I can't get into, but you know they're there, and they make really good points.
Set up patchwork security systems here.
And definitely, you have a lot of things you can do. If you just want a really cool weapon, this is perhaps one of your best go-to guys.
The NSF put a commercial-grade security bot in this area.
Okay, security bot time.
Try and take it out with
Oh shit, I took him out under a magazine. Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. I actually had my aim on mark right there. I fought that recoil and dug my feet in pretty good. I just took that bastard out. This thing is also very expensive, I think, because it's actually one of the higher material weapons at 5 material. It is somewhere between handguns and smaller stature rifles. It's made mostly of actually heavy material, so it is fairly expensive-ish, but it has a narrow range of effects on most of its output. And I think depending on the kind of opponents you put in this, it can actually hold accuracy better or focus accuracy better. But generally, it's just mostly meant to be spammy and lightweight, which is kind of what it does nicely. In fact, I'm just going to stop using the sights. So I do that easy. This is interesting. As I was showing a while ago, the firing range actually isn't capable of reaching the tightest spread threshold. But at the same time, it uses the iron sights to kind of cross that gap into the tighter thread.
It all happened an hour ago.
Tighter
the barge docked and the NSF moved right
threshold.
Offloading the cargo into speedboats.
So that's interesting.
Farley Philbin should be somewhere out on the docks now.
So it relies on the iron sights, I think, to just make consistent hits. But if you're talking a human-sized target at any practical range, this is proving unusually effective. Like, actually, I'm just going to screw around a bit right here, because this gun's about had. It's about to get mad at me. Yeah, another one down. Interesting. Yeah, I'd probably make this thing look overpowered, and I'm not sure where it really stands. But, yeah, it's, a nice gun. I admit, every next gun I make for the arsenal, every next gun we have in the arsenal, I love more and more out of the arsenal. Specifically because there's this kind of situation where I should have fun with things. You know, we have a lot of universe we're developing, a lot of mechanics throwing in, but I think when it comes to the modeling and how you portray the weapon and bring it to life, that you need to have fun with it when you are modeling and you are setting up your stuff with it. And quite frankly, I think that is something very much accomplished, and you feel the fun transfer its energy to the weapon. One of the hilarious stuff here with the sights that makes this weapon so sexy. It's just kind of a funny adjective to use on that, but I picked out sights because they're a combination of functional and fashionable, and these things are simply seductive. And generally, it's, you know, this is a pretty standard-ish weapon. It's just kind of rat-a-tat spammy, so it's not really I was actually intending on making this a little better at the animations, because I think the select and lower animations aren't exactly perfect. I would want more complexity, but we're having issues with mesh disintegration on that, and that is something that suffices to say we have not run into for a long, long time in Hatchet's development, and that is because the modeling has increased in quality, control, and consistency. And between that, we have found all the quirks that cause that kind of stuff, and we weeded out. So where this was coming from, I actually cannot say. This is interesting because I took it apart, I signaled out to a specific transition of frames, and then I absolutely ripped everything apart to remove overlap. That is presumably one of two possible causes. The other each failed spot prematurely, and I checked for it and it was not there. But in the transition, and no matter what I did to it, I could not stop the scrambling, which made me believe it wasn't about, actual overlap with something else. Possibly a skeletal issue, but I haven't had one of those in ages. Once again, I never did it. Issue did not reoccur. No issues. The funniest thing.
I think Gunther's being held behind this laser trigger.
Oh, it's all I can discuss it. It's like, functional. It looks like, I'm not going to say anything about sides again, even though this is kind of that. And it's just kind of fun and simple. If you're kind of a brute force, close quarters, barbarian kind of guy, this might just be your modern age weapon of choice. Sorry they were out of bounds. Yeah, it's wonderful, and it's simple. So like I said, the matter, hope you found this entertaining. Hopefully we'll get back to swing things, and we will wipe out these last two weapons we have planned in the arsenal. And we'll cover our arsenal for quite a while. And if we can get that done, I think we'll be in a great place with our build. Oh, it broke. Either way, yeah, thanks for watching. Hope this was enjoyable. Peace.